It's Monday, June 10th, 2024. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Those of you that are watching this on delay, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Wherever you are. Welcome to the program for this start of the work week. And this is going to be a busy, busy week. We have plenty of things planned that we will be sharing with you as the week progresses, leading up to the Kenworth Truck Parade. It's going to be a big day Saturday.
100 years. 50 years. 100 years was last year for the national company. Chillicothe plant, 50th anniversary this year.
Started making these things with, what was it? They wanted to do 1 to 3 a day, and now they're closing in on 200 a day. Incredible progress made over 50 years. So, and it's the best truck out there.
Yes, sir.
Yes. World's best is, I believe, what they actually call it.
That's what they say, yeah.
All right, coming up here shortly, we'll take a look at news, also sports, and this date in history is electrifying.
Yes, sir.
Details coming up. But first, what's the weather doing for us?
Nice looking day out there, sunshine, a high of 69. I love it when you get that low humidity. Now, cooling off tonight with a low of 49. We're talking about some sunshine and 74 now. According to their little ditty on our weather, it indicates some rain early tomorrow morning. That didn't show up on the forecast that I was looking at, so it's a toss-up as to who's going to be right.
It's a crapshoot anytime anyway, right?
That's what they tell me.
So if you want to see that, just go to our website, littermedia.com. Type in wherever you want. So if you're living in Roxabelle or if you're living Kinnick, or even if it's Detroit, Michigan or whatever, it will show you the weather for that location. So it's an interactive website right there on our website, littermedia.com. All right, coming up, we'll take a look at news. But first, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is your trusted comfort advisor. I was looking at a Gazette article they were looking back at a heat wave that was making it through this area in 1984. And one of the sales representatives for Accurate Heating and Cooling was quoted. It didn't give a name, but they had reached out to Accurate, and he says, with the air conditioning going on and this heat going on, we've been too busy to give you a quote. Not a quote on a price, but a quote for the newspaper. Right. So that was the quote that was used. We've been so busy, we can't talk to you. But they will talk to you if you go to their website. It's accuratehvac.com. It'll take you right to where, if you click on this ad, anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, takes you right to their website to learn more about the services of your trusted comfort advisor, Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652. Haynes Total Health Care Center, like Kenworth, is celebrating their 50th anniversary. Chiropractic, physical therapy, nutrition, they can handle it all. If you want to find out more about their services, click on this ad on our website, littermedia.com. It takes you to hayneshealth.com. While you're at our website, you'll be able to see a lot of the news stories we're about to share with you. Look at those flyboys going through there. That's another big thing going on this weekend. It's the Columbus Air Show. So that's taking place this weekend as well. So if you want to find out more about a lot of the stories we're talking about, just go to our website, littermedia.com. Follow us here on Facebook as well as Litter Media X. And, of course, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel where you can see many of the interviews and special shows that we do, in addition to what we have here on Facebook.
Yes. And at the top of the news, we're talking about the village of Lockbourne, Rediscover Lockbourne, and the Ohio Memorial Chapter Tuskegee Airmen Incorporated are inviting you to an open house for the Lockbourne Rickenbacker Air Force Base Memorial Wall Project and to celebrate the 2024 Columbus Air Show. The open house is actually on Wednesday from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Lockbourne Historical Hall and Event Center, which is adjacent to the Lockbourne Veterans Park on Landis Street. And then the air show, also at Rickenbacker, that will be on June 14th through 16th. So a lot happening in, actually you lived in Lockbourne.
I live, well, just outside of Lockbourne, Plum Street, as it goes south, crosses the village limits and becomes the driveway of the house that we lived on at a farm there owned by Harold Peters back in the day. I imagine his son, Donnie, and the rest of the family is probably managing that now. So, yes. So I'm going to go back Wednesday just to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
I want to check all this out. All right, join the Pickaway County Park District at Canal Park for a fun-filled story time and hike with Pike County Library. That's coming up tomorrow. It starts at 11 a.m., and if you've never been to Canal Park, it's a rather interesting park. They put in zip lines and all that kind of stuff for the kids and rope climbing and everything. It is pretty cool. So get the activities as well as story time in the park. And if you go further down the road, you'll be able to see some of the turtles sunning themselves and all down in the canal.
I think he meant to say Pickaway County Library, not Pike County Library.
Oh, did I say Pike?
He lives
I'm
in
sorry.
Pike County, folks. He's had a divided life. Pickaway County boy, moved to Pike County.
But spend most of my time in Ross County.
That's right.
What's up with that?
It's a tri-county, a trifecta, I guess you call that.
Yes.
Yeah. So take that event in. World Heritage events there's just a slate of different things that are going on later this week as well as in weeks to come. Second Friday tours at Sipe Earthworks are this June 14th. You can join park archaeologist Brett Ruby for guided tours, which last about 2 to 3 hours, but that also covers 2 to 3 miles over unpaved, uneven terrain starting at 10. So just keep that in mind if you want to do the tours. It's a little bit uneven walking out there on those trails. Also, mask making with nature at Fort Ancient Earthworks and Nature Preserve this Saturday. Learn to use bark and other, not the dog bark, bark off a tree.
Bark.
And other natural objects to make 3D creations of animals, birds, and insects. There's a $10 fee which covers the supplies as well as your admission.
Ross County Blood Drive, hosted by the County Freebirds 4-H Group, will be this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. down at Huntington High School. I can't give blood because I gave blood Friday.
Gave it, right.
I'm going to wait till, and ironically, I'll be cleared to give blood on my birthday. Mm-hmm. It's weird. So at any rate, you can donate blood, so stop out and possibly win a cruise. Plus, all donors receive a Just Donate It t-shirt while supplies last.
I just had a thought. Steve Lewis is probably going to be the guided tour on the cruise. And also, I wonder if Leonard Skinner is going to be playing in the background during this whole event. Because it's the Freebirds,
yes,
that 4-H club that's putting this on. Little play on words there. The time period from Memorial Day holiday through Labor Day is referred to by the Ohio Highway Patrol as the 100 deadliest days of summer. The patrol's reminding motorists to buckle up, drive focused and sober. During this period last year, 67,305 crashes occurred on Ohio roadways, which was actually a 3% drop from 2022. Tragically, among those crashes, 371 were fatal. So please pay attention year-round, but especially during this very busy traffic season. And this young gentleman here is the head of the Ohio State Highway Patrol, Colonel Jones.
And you don't want to go across him. So
No, sir.
make sure that you drive safely. Registration is now underway for Liberty Camp, which will be held July 29th through August 2nd at Chillicothe First Presbyterian Church on Mead Drive. The annual history camp for kids aged 9 through 12 is sponsored by the Nathaniel Massey chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. There'll be a history reenactors. It includes some of our founding fathers, songs, colonial-style games. Camp fee is $25, which includes the kids' T-shirt. If you want to register for this, you need to call Trudy Arledge at 740-775-8755. There's also an email address that you can find as well for more details. As we described this in a conversation with Teresa Reap last week, this is kind of like Vacation Bible School, only about American history.
Right. I believe Teresa said during that luncheon that we attended last week that their numbers were a little slow coming in.
Yeah.
So hopefully getting the word out. And you can also find that on our Facebook post.
And they have space for only 40 kids. But they have 42 instructors helping, so it's pretty much one-on-one teaching.
That's good. Mm-hmm. More time devoted to each kid.
Yes.
Our road report takes us over to Athens County today. The Hocking Adena Bikeway is going to reopen this Friday after being closed for the past month or so due to a resurfacing project. So for you bicyclists out there that have been used to riding that trail over in Athens County, you'll be able to again starting this weekend.
Hocking.
Yeah.
I've not seen that before.
I don't know if it has, if it goes into part of Hocking County or not, but that's the way it's spelled. Hocking Adena Bikeway.
Coming up, a look at sports for you. We finally put a wrap on the high school spring sports season, so details are just ahead. But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. You can give them a call at 740-253-8389 to place an order for a dumpster. They'll bring it to the location you need it, whether it's be residential or business, and you fill it up. Then they'll come back and they'll haul it all away. That simple, that easy. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, 740-253-8389. Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
As a basketball coach and a dad, I need to be able to keep up.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc.
I was so confident in Dr. Fleming, he explained everything.
Together, they decided on minimally invasive spinal surgery to relieve Mark's pain and get him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
Visit ChillicotheOhio.com for the Ross Chillicothe Convention and Visitors Bureau. Sports, we begin with our high school roundup.
And high school sports is officially finished for the 23-24 school year. It wrapped up with the high school baseball state championship games yesterday, and the last of the local teams involved was the Minford Falcons baseball team. They lost in the state semis on Saturday, falling to Millbury Lake by a score of, 4-0 was the final score. Young man that pitched for Millbury Lake threw a 4-hit shutout, struck out 7 batters. Minford's pitcher pitched well. He only gave up, 6 hits, struck out 7, but 2 bad innings, 1 in the second and 3 runs in the third inning spelled defeat. Now, the other scores from around the state, all of these games were played up at Akron's Canal Park. You see West Branch beat Hamilton Baden 3-2. Mason thumped Twinsburg 8-1. Heath ended up beating Millbury Lake for the Division III final 3-1. And Berlin Highland beat Fort Recovery 3-2. Fort Recovery had a 2-0 lead in that game, but Highland came back and scored 3 times to win it all, 3-2 in Division IV. And again, that finishes out the high school sports season.
Chillicothe Paints now, our main focus throughout the summer, and it's easy to be focused on them when they score 18 runs in a game. 18-6 the final over the Rex baseball in Terre Haute, Indiana. They have 5 wins in the last 6 games. Back in action at home this Wednesday, which is a winning Wednesday, and 5 fans will win gift cards for gas from Valero. You can use that.
Yeah, absolutely.
At any time. Major League Baseball for you, Reds had that 7-game winning streak snapped, 4-2 the final, but they have been really hot here of late, and they jumped into second place, had sole possession of second place for a while. I didn't take a look at see how the Pirates ended up. If the Pirates lost yesterday, then the Reds, I think, are still in second place.
With the Cubs.
With the Cubs, yes, tied. As far as the Guardians, they defeated Miami 6-3 yesterday, and I believe that's the series wrap-up for them. An off day for both the Guardians and the Reds because the Guards come to Cincinnati tomorrow and Wednesday.
One of the hottest golfers in the sport, Scotty Scheffler, up in Dublin, Ohio, won the Memorial Golf Tournament. He fired an 8-under par for the weekend, but had a great round yesterday to win it. So congratulations to him. And if you're staying up with the NBA Finals, now Boston takes a 2-0 lead over the Dallas Mavericks, 105-98. I believe Game 2 in the NHL is tonight. Florida leads that NHL Stanley Cup Series 1-0.
I'm only interested if the Cavaliers are in it or if the Blue Jackets ever make it this late.
Well, the Jackets have a new general manager.
They do. Who turned things around with the Hurricanes.
He was being interviewed over the weekend by all the Columbus media and seems to be excited about their prospects. So we'll see how that goes.
We apologize because last Thursday we forgot to get the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. And so we said, well, we'll announce it tomorrow. And tomorrow was Friday, and we forgot to do it. So here is this week's or last week's. Well, there she is. Look at that beautiful picture there.
That was a week.
Wait, I found it.
it. Thank you very much. Asleep at the wheel there.
Yeah.
So not only did we forget it twice, we messed it up when we went to do the make good on it.
That big,
yeah, but
Haley Cox had the Caitlin Clark feel of being left off the Olympic team right there.
Yes, but Haley Cox from Ohio Christian University, the Trailblazers. This year, she broke a couple of OCU women's basketball records: single game scoring, 45 points. Single season scoring, 783 points. She was named the River State's Conference Player of the Week 7 times. And if you're going to win it that many times, you may as well be the Player of the Year. Yeah. River State's Conference Player of the Year. Congratulations to Haley Cox from Ohio Christian University. And, of course, being a Christian college, they would forgive us for forgetting to do that last week.
Grace prevails, yes.
Yes, precisely. All right, coming up in a moment, the Litter Media Wayback Machine is dialed up to
1752, and it's going to be rather shocking.
Oh, my. That's coming up next.
Online all the time. Customer payment, account information, and more. We're talking about you need to log on at litterpropane.com.
At Rathkamp Financial, we provide wealth management services that may ease clients' fears of financial loss and help them retire comfortably. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When insuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Whenever I first applied for the ArchWiz opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
Are you looking for a beer that satisfies your thirst and love of country? Armed Forces Brewing Company brews beer for patriots. Celebrate freedom with every sip. Armed Forces Brewing Company. Freedom never tasted so good.
Speaking of freedom, one of our founding fathers is part of today's Litter Media, This Date in History.
I wonder if the expression, go fly a kite, came from this.
It's a good question.
It's been around a long time.
It has been around a long time, but I don't know if everybody would say, go fly a kite and put a key on it.
Yeah.
But wasn't the key also in like a mason jar or some type of a jar?
I think that's the way they described it. On this date in 1752, a fellow by the name of Benjamin Franklin.
On the $100 bill.
Yes, was said to have flown. Didn't I give you a picture of Ben Franklin, producer?
No, you did not.
Might want to check that again. During a lightning storm, collected ambient electrical charge in a Leyden jar. Did you say I didn't send it to him? Where did this come from?
I was just messing with it.
Then he followed up with, oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah, enabling him to demonstrate the connection between lightning and electricity. I think I could have even figured there was a connection between lightning and electricity.
In this picture is Ben saying, get away from me, boy, you're bothering me.
Yeah.
And that boy was Mike Smith.
It could have been, yeah. Let me see what's in that jar, man. Franklin became interested in electricity in the mid-1740s, a time when much was still unknown on the topic.
Hold this, kid.
Yeah, and spent almost a decade conducting electrical experiments. He coined a number of terms used today, including battery, conductor, and electrician. He also invented the lightning rod, which is still used today to protect buildings and ships.
He may have also coined the phrase, yikes, that hurts.
Yeah, so that happened on, I think it's kind of like Washington and the cherry tree thing. Yeah. I think a lot of people thought that this story about Franklin was probably urban legend, myth, but it actually happened on this date in 1752.
Have you ever had memorable, shocking moments? I mean, from electrical shock.
Yep.
Oh my! As a kid,
and I'm not talking about just shuffling your feet across the carpet moments. Yeah.
I remember my mom was on the telephone. She was talking with someone. I don't know who it was. I was probably 4 or 5 years old, and I had a key. And I had this key, and I'm thinking to myself, hey, I'm going to act like I'm driving a car. And the key was going into the electrical outlet.
Oh, no.
And I remember sparks flying. I remember my hand jolting back, and I remember Mom going, hold on, Danny's done something.
Dan's trying to burn the house down.
Forget that I just slid across the kitchen.
Wow. Was there smoke coming off of you or anything like that?
I don't remember that part. That's part of my childhood. I remember up to that point and not much afterwards.
Yeah.
So now my brother.
And by the way, we want to warn all of our young audience, do not try this.
Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Learn from our experiences. And however, it would have been cool if there had been, like everybody's got a smartphone today and recording everything. That'd have been really neat to see. But my brother was taking a bath, and our hot water tank had shorted out. And this is probably one of the most scary moments in my life. He had grabbed the knob to turn off while he's sitting in the tub.
Ouch.
Now, my bed was right on the other side of that wall. And I was minding my own business, reading a magazine, cartoon, comic book, or whatever. And I hear this splash of water, this body hit the wall, and then, turn it off, turn it off. And I'm like, whoa, turn what off? And I thought about the circuit breakers. which was downstairs. So I had to run down the hall, run down the stairs. And I remember my grandma was there, and she was going, "What, Jimmy, let go. He's like, I can't. And I got there and I flipped all the switch down because I didn't know which one to flip. And it was dark at that moment. And all I remember was Jim was like, "Thank you." Which is, Jim's no longer with us, but I saved his life that day.
Mm-hmm.
He saved my life another day. Mm. And that was when I was out in bitter cold. And I still have feeling in my fingertips that is messed up from the early onset of frostbite. Oh. And I remember speaking at his funeral, talking about how he saved my life that day. And we both saved each other's life, so we had that connection. But in the other respect, he was a scoutmaster for 35 years, thereabouts. And they told me from the scouts, they said he was our outdoor cold temperature specialist. And I told him, I said, I bet it all comes back to the day he spared me.
Yeah, saved your life.
Yeah,
about that.
Yeah. Funny how things happen, I guess, and you remember those.
So was it like Andy Griffith and Gomer Pyle when Andy saved Gomer's life and Gomer came over and was doing stuff for him all the time?
None of that happened.
Getting in the way.
Not at all. No.
Keeping him up all night.
Did not happen at all.
Okay.
But we did show appreciation for one another after that. So miss my big brother. All right, coming up tomorrow, we have a special event. It is a bicentennial celebration.
Yes, one of the churches here in Chillicothe. We're scheduled to talk to Alicia Gray, and I think their pastor is supposed to be in. Alicia, if you're watching and you forgot, reminder, be here tomorrow morning at 10
I
o'clock.
messaged her a moment ago, but I have not seen a response yet.
All right.
So.
Well, if they show up, we'll have an interview. If they don't, then we'll try to reschedule it.
But First Baptist Church here in Chillicothe, you'll find it on East 4th Street, or West 4th Street. That is right.
We'll let them give us the address to make sure you get to the right place for the celebration.
Yeah, it's on that side of Payne Street.
Yeah.
But it's right next door to the David Nickens, which is another thing coming up this weekend, the golf outing on Saturday for the David Nickens Heritage Center. So a lot of stuff going on this week. So details on that and more coming up for you tomorrow here on another edition of Litter Media Live.